Welcome everyone to another edition of the Talk with AVC. I am your host AVC, and we are here for our NFL segment. We're at that point in the off season where free agency has pretty much cooled off. There might be a few trades, and maybe one or two signings, but majority wise, the rush on free agents is probably over for now. The rest will probably get signed after the draft, and the draft talk's heating up. So there wasn't much to talk about signing wise, but trade wise, we do have something to talk about. Finally happened. It seemed like it was kind of inevitable, but it's finally here. The Jets have traded quarterback Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers for a 6th round pick this year, a 2nd, and a 4th next year. My initial thoughts on this. I kind of like it for both sides. For Carolina's perspective, they were big on Deshaun Watson. Obviously there's a lot going on in that department. So even if the allegations off the field weren't a thing, I don't think Carolina was going to have the haul necessary to get Watson anyway. So this is the safer, smarter option for them. I think Darnold still has potential. He's only 23 years old. He's shown some flashes. I've never been a huge fan of his, but he does have some potential. He looks like he can be a decent quarterback with the right players around him. Now he's going to have CMC. He's going to have Matt Rule as his coach, who was a fan of his back when he was drafted. Still got DJ Moore. Probably going to look to add another weapon in the draft. The Panthers will be fine. And if Darnold plays up to near his starter potential, at least like 80% of what we expected them to be out of college, the Panthers could be a serious playoff team this year. You know, they got to figure some things out on the defensive side, specifically in the secondary. They gave up too many points, but their offense will be lethal, kind of like it was last year. I feel bad for Teddy Bridgewater. This guy can never catch a break. It doesn't seem like he ever really does anything wrong. He's just okay as a quarterback. He'll get a job somewhere else, so I don't feel too bad. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Honestly, Giants, I would look into acquiring Bridgewater, the backup Daniel Jones. I think that would maybe light a fire under him, maybe get Daniel Jones to actually play. But let's look at the other side of this deal from the Jets' perspective. It was time to move on. You know, you got a GM who is not loyal to Darnold. You got a new head coach who was not loyal to Darnold. You know, the 2nd overall pick in the draft, Zach Wilson is going to be there. You have a chance to build around Zach Wilson or build around Sam Darnold. Zach Wilson is what you do. This was the smart move. I'm honestly surprised with the haul they got for him. I really didn't think they were going to be able to get much because the only team I had heard that was interested was Carolina. So I figured Carolina could kind of control the market on him. But it just pulled off a decent move for a future compensation. And now you can start to build the roster around Zach Wilson on a rookie contract. Because that's the other thing about Darnold. He only had about 1 year left on his rookie deal before you're going to have to really pay him money, which makes it harder to build a roster around. So if you're a team like the Jets and you're like still really building, it's easier to have a guy like Zach Wilson. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other teams in the league. So I'm going back to the Texans here for a second. Obviously, thank God Bill O'Brien's gone. They got a new head coach who was a very underwhelming hire, in my opinion. I want to know, either did Eric Bieniemy not want the job or did you not offer it to him? Because I don't know why you offered it to the guy you offered it to. I can't even think of the guy's name. That's how bad it is. But he's the Ravens passing game coordinator for a passing game that was like 30th in the NFL. I don't get it. And why was Jack Easterby still there? Honest to God question. Why was Jack Easterby? Is he still there? I honestly might have to check in a second to see if he's still there. I know Nick Cassero is the GM now, but is Jack Easterby still a part of the Houston Texans? Because if he is, he should never get a job in football again. Like, Jack Easterby. Oh, God. Like, I don't. Oh, no, yeah, he's still the VP. Why is he still here? Why is he still here? This is the guy who was the enabler of Bill O'Brien and the rest of this horrible staff. Why is Jack Easterby still here? Do you not want to succeed as a franchise? Oh my gosh. This is such a mess. It's insane. This guy is one of the worst executives I've seen since I'm blanking on the guy's name. Basically, it was the GM of the Colts when they got Andrew Luck. You had an easy pick with Luck, and then you've Ryan Grigson. This man is one of the worst executives I've seen since Ryan Grigson. It's it's bad. So I really hope he just has no impact on football operations for Houston Texans fans' sake. But good God, why is he still here? Another guy why I'm not sure is still around, Howie Roseman. Now, I know Eagles fans might be a little against that, but wasn't the choice in the offseason between Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz? Now you lost both of them, and you got Nick Sorensen, who looks lost as a coach. The whole thing just seemed like a gut. Like, you got rid of Peterson because you thought you were going to be able to convince Wentz to stay, or you thought you were going to be able to keep Wentz. Why did you not just? You ended up trading him anyway. Just trade Wentz to the Colts. You would have gotten that offer, and keep Doug Peterson. I'm not a fan of Doug Peterson. I think he is a overrated coach. I think Frank Reich really won that Super Bowl for them. Oh, the microphone's going all over the place. I mean, I've been on record saying I'm not a fan of Doug Peterson, but if I had to choose between him and Nick Sorensen, I don't know. It was pretty bad. So I need to know why Howie Roseman still has a job. And the other guy I need to know why they still have a job is Ryan Pace. Other than the Khalil Mack trade and a couple of decent drafts of defensive players, what the heck has Ryan Pace actually done? Other than lead the Bears to mediocrity, which they were doing before that. Like, the Bears are the epitome of mediocrity as a franchise. They're never truly terrible. They're always okay. It's actually surprising usually when they're terrible. But now they're like a fringe playoff team that can only make it if everything goes right. And now you just lost you cut your best corner to pay for Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton. Okay, let's do this. I know I spoke about this briefly in a previous episode, but I like Andy Dalton. But this was not the guy you needed in this team. The fit is just not there. You needed a playmaker. I would have rather have kept Trubisky. You need someone who can run with that offensive line. Andy Dalton is not that guy. Andy Dalton would have been perfect for a team like New England or San Fran, for example. Like, Andy Dalton does not fit on the Bears. I mean, maybe I'll end up being wrong, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Oh, back on Howie Roseman real quick. This is the same guy who thought about trading Carson Wentz to the Bears for Nick Foles. No, I'm not kidding. That was an honest-to-God thing he thought of. And the lasting impact of this whole thing will be a $30 million dead cap hit for Carson Wentz. Holy hell. Wow. No wonder you're cutting like half your roster, and Zach Ertz wants out too. Good job, Howie. The other GM and coach duo I got to look at is the Bengals. I'm blanking on the GM's name, but Zach Taylor. Why is he still your head coach? Like, I don't care that he's young and it's his second year. What has the guy shown he can do? He's not a great play caller. He's okay. He's a mediocre play caller. He has elite talent. But I'm more concerned about the players that have just bailed, you know. Watching AJ Green not care is good. Watching Carlos Dunlap work his way out of town, watching Geno Atkins and some of the other veterans just not want to be there is good. What are you looking at, Mike? Mike Brown is the owner of the Bengals, but what are you looking at? This is just terrible. Now, I know I had hyped up some draft talk for this week, but with all the recent trades, I've had to reconsider and figure out my mock drafts a little bit more. So that will be a next week thing. I promise next week we will have the reveal of the first AVC mock draft of the year. Thank you all for watching this NFL segment here on the Talk with AVC. We will go into our next segment where I will just talk briefly about the national championship for March Madness, and then we will go into baseball, which has finally started up. Yay. I will see you all in the next segment.